The abandoned subway station had always been a topic of urban legends, a forbidden zone whispered about in hushed tones among the city's dwellers. So naturally, when Max, Jenny, and Alex decided to explore it, they didn't think twice about the warnings. They were thrill seekers, always chasing the next adrenaline rush. The entrance was easy enough to find, an old rusted gate hidden behind a thicket of overgrown weeds. As they slipped through the gap, a chill wind greeted them, carrying the scent of mildew and decay. The air grew colder as they descended the cracked concrete steps, their flashlights cutting through the darkness like fragile beams of hope. "Did you guys hear about the accident?" Max's voice echoed through the empty tunnel. "A train derailed here back in the 60s. They say the passengers never left." "Just stories to keep people out," Jenny replied, though her voice trembled slightly. The station was a tomb of forgotten history. The tiles, once white, were now mottled with grime. Faded posters clung to the walls, advertising long, forgotten concerts and products. The eerie silence was broken only by the distant dripping of water and the scuttling of unseen creatures. As they ventured deeper, a sense of unease settled over them. Alex, usually the most fearless, kept glancing over his shoulder. "Feels like we're being watched," he muttered. They reached the platform, and their flashlights revealed an old subway car, its doors half open. It stood as if waiting for passengers who would never arrive. The trio exchanged nervous glances but climbed aboard, curiosity outweighing caution. The inside of the car was a snapshot of the past. Newspapers from decades ago lay scattered on the seats, and the air was thick with dust. Max approached the conductor's cabin, peering through the grime-coated window. "Looks like it's been here forever," he said. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and a low hum filled the air. The car jolted, as if brought to life by an unseen force. Panic surged through them, but the doors slammed shut, trapping them inside. "Stay calm," Jenny said, though her own fear was palpable. "Let's just find a way out." As they moved through the car, shadows began to form in the dim light. At first, they seemed like tricks of the mind, but then they took shape. Phantom passengers, their eyes hollow, their expressions frozen in eternal terror. Max's flashlight flickered, and the beam landed on a spectral figure standing at the end of the car. The ghostly woman stared at them, her lips moving soundlessly, her eyes pleading. "We need to go," Alex shouted, but the car began to move, creeping forward on rusted tracks. The ghosts grew more distinct, their whispers filling the air. The friends backed away, their hearts pounding. The spectral passengers reached out, their cold, translucent hands passing through the living, but leaving a chilling numbness in their wake. Jenny screamed as one of them grasped her arm, its touch like ice. Max and Alex pulled her free, and they ran towards the back of the car, desperate for an escape. The car picked up speed, hurtling through the darkened tunnel. The lights inside flickered madly, casting eerie shadows. The whispers grew louder, a cacophony of lost voices crying out in anguish. Then, as suddenly as it started, the train screeched to a halt. The doors slid open, revealing the station once more, but something was different. The air was heavier, the darkness more oppressive. The friends stumbled out, gasping for breath, their minds reeling from the ordeal. "Where are we?" Jenny asked, her voice barely a whisper. "This isn't the same station," Max replied, looking around in horror. The walls were covered in strange symbols, and the posters had changed to morbid depictions of death and despair. They realized with growing dread that they were trapped in a place between worlds, a liminal space haunted by the spirits of those who died in the accident. The phantom passengers lingered, their mournful eyes following the friends' every move. Desperation took hold. They tried to find the exit, but the station seemed to stretch endlessly, twisting and turning in impossible ways. The spectral figures grew bolder, their forms solidifying, their touches colder. In a final frantic bid for freedom, they raced towards a distant light, only to find themselves back where they started. The ghosts closed in, their faces a mask of sorrow and rage. Max, Jenny, and Alex realized too late that they had become part of the station's tragic history. The spectral passengers, no longer alone, welcomed the new additions to their eternal journey. The trio's flashlights dimmed and then extinguished, leaving the station in darkness once more, a tomb for the living and the dead. The whispers faded, replaced by the sound of a train approaching in the distance, ready to claim its next passengers.